Donald Trump has been impeached twice. Once for trying to coordinate with a foreign country to manipulate our presidential election. The second for trying to overthrow our election by sending an armed mob into the Capitol. These are very serious crimes. They're not his only crimes he could have been impeached for. They're not even necessarily the two out of the top two that I would have impeached him for, but they were significant. Biden, on the other hand, might be impeached for, I don't know, whatever, because now we've got new Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has rubbed her brain cells together and come up with this. On January 21st, the first full day of the Biden administration, she's going to impeach him. For what? Well, there's video. We're not playing it for you because I like my audience. So here's what she had to say. I would like to announce on behalf of the American people, we have to make sure, so I'm reading her quote. You have to imagine that there's a bunch of Q paraphernalia behind me. But anyway, we have to make sure our leaders are held accountable. We cannot have a president of the United States who's willing to abuse the power of the office of the presidency and be easily bought off by foreign governments, foreign Chinese energy companies, Ukrainian energy companies, so blah, blah, blah. So she believes a whole bunch of nonsense. But what's interesting about the nonsense, Brett, is that she doesn't think that they should be able to convict Trump after he's president anymore, but she's trying to impeach Biden for things he did years ago as vice president. So she's slightly undercutting that argument there. But anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we're trying to immediately impeach him for whatever. What do you think?
He's inaugurated on the 20th. Why wait? He's on the 20th. You're wasting taxpayer time and money by waiting a whole 12 hours. He's inaugurated at noon. Snap, snap. Get to it. Noon on the 20th. Do it right now. You left out like a lot of the bonkers stuff that she said. Her argument for this after her nonsense goesies backsies but no goesies forwardsies argument is she touched blue, make it true. Like that is how she's arguing. And constitutionally, that's her argument. But her argument is, she goes on to say something like, "It is insane to it. I shudder to think that there are people who are so disillusioned with our country that they would be so afraid of a Biden presidency that they would storm the Capitol and commit violence." That's her argument. Is that not? These people are unhinged because I am currently fanning flames of a BS, jeopardized election security argument that's already been disproven in all 50 states and by the Congress. It's nothing about that. It's all about they're nervous about Biden because of something with a laptop in Burisma.
Yeah.
And then even that argument itself is like, well, Donald, if you're talking about nepotism, selling people out, like Ivanka, you're doing business. She secured a bunch of patents in China. You've got Jared going around negotiating all your Middle East stuff. Like it's all in the family there. What's your argument?
Yeah, and look, I know that some people were saying in advance of Trump being impeached for a second time, well, this is gonna set a precedent where they're just gonna impeach for everything. I don't know why impeaching for inspiring a violent insurrection now opens up the gates for everything. But I wanna reassure you, if you actually believe that, they were going to do this no matter what. Like, she believes that satanic pedophiles eat children and drink their blood so that they can absorb their life force. She's not bound by reason. It wasn't like, well, if they were more polite to Trump, I would have engaged in a good faith effort to legislate with President Biden. No, they are bringing conspiracy theorists directly into government. It's no longer like the Republicans in government have to go on Fox News and like reassure everyone that they believe the conspiracy theories. They're choosing in primaries based on how crazy these people are. They're going to try to impeach Biden every day for whatever, it doesn't matter. Nothing Biden does or doesn't do is going to affect that. So like we unfortunately have to deal with her because she's a congresswoman right now, but don't allow your evaluations of the utility of providing legal or political consequences for anti-democratic behavior to be affected by what might or might not be done by people who are literally amongst the craziest individuals in our goddamn country.
And yeah, like you said, if Q is the prophet, then this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. All the stuff that Q was saying is BS about like global cabals of pedophile demon people. But all that stuff he's saying about there being people in the government who will take arms against it and take down everyone. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, those folks ended up in the government to, quote, take down a cabal of pedophiles. It doesn't matter, the pedophiles don't exist. But you have people in there now. That's the most scary thing. And for their BS arguments, Andy Biggs, who's the head of the whatever caucus, he said this rhetoric. He talked about Don Lemon saying that Trump voters are on the side of the Klansmen. He's tweeting, "This rhetoric will not bring more unity and healing to the nation, only division and discord." Dude, you planned the riot. He's one of the three in the Congress who essentially planned this rally, which it had the intent of going to the Capitol building. Yeah. You did that. And talk about unity, you're not allowing the president of the United States to be elected democratically. You're looking for an autocrat. None of your arguments hold, none of them whatsoever. And they don't need to, they just wanna feel good, they wanna feel right, and they wanna have power. And it's nuts. Because it used to be you just had like the Ted Cruzes who were grifting and like, oh, that's what they're saying. I want to be the head of that. Josh Hawley, oh, that's what they're saying. I want to be their person in Congress who says they're advocating for it, but still never does anything for them, but just maintains power. But now you have actual crazies like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert in freaking Congress advocating for themselves.
Yeah,
it's horrifying.
Yeah, and who are definitely true believers. Hawley and Cruz, they'll say they believe whatever you want them to say they believe, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is just as crazy and just as dumb as she presents herself. She's got at least half of that in common with Louis Gohmert.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.